Greetings from the Jazz Cloud. I'm Richie Zellon, and in this lesson I want to unravel the mystery of playing outside without sounding like you made a mistake or got lost in the changes. And for those of you who are new to jazz and have no clue what this playing outside is, let me just briefly sum it up as temporarily improvising over different chord changes other than those written in order to purposely create a strong sense of tension and dissonance. And you hear this concept in the playing of many post-bop jazz musicians such as John Coltrane, some later Miles Davis recordings, Herbie Hancock, and of course guitarists such as John Scofield and Pat Metheny. But if you're still not sure what I'm referring to, stick with me, because next I'm going to solo over the changes to How High the Moon so you can hear me use a variety of outside concepts. And after that I will show you some of these different concepts and resources and give you some tips on how you can convincingly also play outside over any 2-5-1 progression. Welcome back to the Jazz Guitar Channel, where I bring you weekly tutorials on everything related to the art of playing jazz on this 6-string beast we call the guitar that we all love and sometimes dread. There are many different ways of playing outside, and what I am going to teach you next are 4 phrases using a concept known as side slipping. And this is what I did for the most part in the short solo you heard me play previously. And it consists of improvising a half step either below or above the written changes. And it creates a great amount of tension and dissonance because most of the chord tones in the outside scale are no longer diatonic to the actual prescribed one, and therefore intentionally clash with it. In these 2 first examples, I am going to employ side slipping using more of a bebop perspective. Simply put, when I go outside the changes, I am going to improvise using different phrasing concepts I would normally use when playing bebop. And all of these examples are over a 2-5-1 in the key of C. It's a major 2-5-1 comprised of D minor, G dominant, and C. Usually a C6 or C major 7. In this first example, I'm going to side slip half step below the 2 minor chords. So I'm going to go. I'm not doing anything over the dominant in these examples because the dominant is unstable enough, and I think we don't need to go outside on it, but you're free to experiment with it. And finally, on the C major 7, the 1 chord, I'm going side slipping half step below and coming back. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me play it slowly and let's analyze it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now for this second example, I'm also going to do some side slipping, but this time I'm going to go half step above the 2 minor chord for the second half of its measure, and also half step above the 1 chord for the second half of its measure. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after introducing those first 2 examples, it should go without saying that another prerequisite to play outside convincingly is that you should first know how to create a coherent line over the actual changes. Otherwise, you are putting the cart before the horse. So after that disclaimer, I am now going to proceed to demonstrate how to use side slipping, this time employing gin and tonic scale. Did I say gin and tonic? Pentatonic scales, okay. And this is a sound that we hear a lot in the playing of John Coltrane and of course his pianist, McCoy Tyner. Pentatonics have a very distinct African sound, which I'm sure most of you are aware of from playing the blues. However, they are also very effective in the creation of quartal harmony, that is, by organizing their notes in intervals of a fourth. So here are 2 examples this time, side slipping with pentatonics. In this third example, I'm going to side slip using a minor pentatonic half step down from the 2 chord for the second half of its measure. And then again, I'm going to use a major pentatonic this time, half step below the 1 chord, that is the C major 7. So I'm going to improvise over B major 7 using a major pentatonic. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. For this fourth example, again, I'm using a pentatonic to do the side slipping, and I'm going half step above this time, half step above the 2 minor chord. So using a D minor 7 for the 2, it's going to be an E flat minor 7 for the second half of the measure. And then for the 1 chord for the C major 7, the second half of its first measure, I'm going to play over a D flat major 7, resolving back down to C major 7 to end the phrase. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, I want to show you 2 more examples of using side slipping, this time in a very simple yet effective manner. I call it the Scalar approach to side slipping. And it consists of departing by stepwise motion from the scale currently being played and simply playing the same scale either a half step down or up with no embellishments or anything, just a segment of the straight scale. And by the way, you'll often hear this in the playing of Miles Davis during his post-bop era, or his post-bop period, as well as that of pianist Herbie Hancock, to give you another example. So still I'm playing over a 2-5-1 in a major key of C, and this time I'm just going to side slip and I'm going to continue playing the scale, the original scale, but half step up. So for the D minor 7, I'm going to continue playing an E flat minor 7. I'm using Dorian here, a half step apart. Then when I play over the 1 chord, which of course is a major scale, I'm going to take that major scale in stepwise motion, half step up into D flat major 7. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's play this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for our 6th example, I'm going to do the same thing using a scale, just side slipping, but this time going half step below in a very linear fashion, stepwise motion all throughout. So I'm starting with the D minor. I'm going to go to D flat minor 7, and then over the 1 chord, I'm going to play C major 7, major scale, then go down half step into B major 7. And it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here it is slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you like what you've heard and want to learn more, let me say that we are barely scratching the surface here as far as playing outside goes. Side slipping is just one of many concepts. If you are interested not only in downloading the notation PDFs for the previous concepts, but also learning several more, I have put together a comprehensive set of examples demonstrating various ways of playing outside. And you can download it from my website, jazzguitar.richiezellon.com, and all for a nominal contribution which goes towards helping me bring you these lessons. And you will find a link in the info section down below. Your support is greatly appreciated. So now that you are familiar with these concepts, at least in theory, that is, I'm going to solo again over the changes to How High the Moon, and this time you should have an easier time identifying when and where I am playing outside. So I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the great outdoors of jazz. As usual, I appreciate your comments, likes, and welcome any questions you might have. What is this thing called love? What is the meaning of life? Yada, yada, yada. If you enjoyed this lesson and haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and don't forget to click on the notification bell icon so you won't miss any of my upcoming lessons. Meanwhile, here is another lesson I think you should check out. Hasta la vista.